$2,400 that could land in your bank account if you're on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. An emergency stimulus that would amount to $200 every month, all the way to December of 2021. Then stimulus checks on top of that, and hazard pay, and EIDL, and a $50,000 grant, and a $10,000 grant, and yet another $10,000 grant. All part of the stimulus package that's being pushed today as Joe Biden speaks to members of the press. In breaking news developments today, Joe Biden says send out stimulus right now. But I'm going to detail in this video for you how you can get money right now, not waiting on Congress, Joe Biden, or anyone else. This is Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Monday afternoon, and I hope you are good and safe. This is a big update about your second stimulus check and all the details, including that $2,400 for SSDI, SSI, and Social Security and railroad benefits, and if it went out right now, $2,600. Also, those big grants. If you've not subscribed, please do, because I'm getting you money right now. Not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. Money right now. Then I'll be going over in this video, additionally, other money you could get shortly thereafter. Also, like this video, it helps the video appear higher in the rankings. In this video, I will be going over so much details for you. Coming up 30 minutes after this is Purple, in which I'll be going over the big grants of $50,000, $10,000, the other $10,000, and grants that are available to you right now, and additionally, hazard pay, $10,000 if you worked during the pandemic. Then 30 minutes after that is McConnell versus Trump. And in Being a Mitch, I will go over what Mitch McConnell may be doing this week, and it's categorically incredible. But in this video, I'll be going over money you can get right now, money you can get shortly thereafter, and the money right after that includes the $2,400 for SSDI, SSI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. And I'll be going over the breaking news as Joe Biden speaks about stimulus all this afternoon, minutes ago. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that you and I are focused on one thing and one thing only: money, not right now. Not chatter, not talk, not urging, not pushing, not anything but stimulus money in your hands right now. You need money right now. And there's 3 ways to get money right now. And earlier today, I detailed some of the unfolding events that have actually shown that people are getting the money right now. There are 3 ways to do it. The first one is grants, existing grants under CARES Act 1. The second one is enhanced unemployment benefits. The third one is EIDL. I'm going to go over each one shortly, starting right now. The first one is existing grants. Under CARES Act 1, there was $150 billion given to states that were then to give to cities and counties to spend on you. And if you're a viewer who is on SSDI, SSI, and Social Security benefits, retired, not working, stay at home, and on benefits or receipts of something like that, you qualify for rent and for food. If you're an independent contractor, you qualify for business things. If you're just a W-2 person, you may qualify for everything but the business items. Overall, 99% of the viewers of this channel qualify for things under CARES Act 1. The only people that don't qualify are people who made a lot of money in 2019 or people who are in cities or states in which they have actually used up the money, and that is literally nowhere to be found. Most of the cities have money and they're just spending it right now. The way you find the money: how much money is it? What does it involve? And what's happening today? Let me go over that this minute. First, the way you find the money is you go on Google News. You look for your city and your county. For example, in LA, there's both an LA County and an LA City. So I would look for LA City plus CARES Act 1 plus grants. You don't want to go on Google Web. You want to go on Google News. You want to look for your local news stations that may have done stories about this, because that's the only way they're getting out the news of it. An example is an earlier viewer of this channel found a local grant announced for Harris County where he was for rent. And he had heard in Texas, and he had heard about it on the local news. And Kevin Lee, when he heard about it, heard it at 5 o'clock on an afternoon on the local news, saw it, applied, and the application window was closed just a few days later. He eventually got it. And then I have a viewer out of South Florida. She's a retired senior, and she watched this video. She heard about a grant program for seniors. She applied. She told her friends to apply, and they all got the rent money. Today, this morning, in Orange County, not here in California, not with the housewives, in Orange County, Florida, they announced they were going live with a grant program for stimulus checks. Yes, they offer stimulus checks as well. And this was about $1,800 approximately. It went live, and within 30 minutes, they had filled 15,000 applications. Needless to say, there's a demand for this. And so what you need to do is look for it. Go get it and get it right away. This is money they got to use or lose. If they don't use it, the money goes back to the federal government. And where does it go then? Stay with me, because that's going to be about your stimulus checks. Oh yeah, this is getting good right away. Next, enhance unemployment benefits. If you're a subscriber to this community, which I hope you are, on the community page of this channel, about an hour ago, I posted a link to a very nice website that shows the range of base to highest level of unemployment in every state. And some states go from about $100 is the base level to $450 a week. What does that mean? It means that state unemployment offices are paying out a base to a high range. This is what's called enhanced unemployment benefits. And last night on Purple Power Live, in which we go over how to get money like this, please tune into that tonight. That's 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you hit the alerts at the front of this channel, it'll send you an alert when I'm about to go live ahead of time, about 10 minutes ahead of time. In that video, I asked viewers, when did you go on unemployment? And virtually all of them said March. March is approximately 30 weeks from today's date. Well, if you increase your benefits by $100, bam, $3,000 in your account. That's $100 a week for 30 weeks, because what you're doing is increasing your weekly benefits, and it's retroactive. And it's from your state. It has nothing to do with the federal government. So those people with their lobster, those people in Congress, you don't have to hear anything about them to get this money. This is money right now. Way you do it, you look at your 2019 tax return. You look at your 2019 tax return. And if you made over $18,000 a year last year, you should absolutely do this. If you made $30,000 last year in your 2019 tax return, then I'm shaking the camera and saying, what the hell are you doing? Go get this right now. The reason why is because generally at $30,000 2019 earnings, you're at maximum benefits. Unbelievable. Maximum benefits is about $400 a month in some states. And if you're at $100 a month, $400 a week. And if you're at $100 a week, that's a $300 difference. 30 weeks, that's $9,000. What are you doing? Go get this money. So the way you get the money is you pull your 2019 tax return, get it, scan it, put it in your computer. Then write a very nice, professional, polite letter to your unemployment department of your state. Say, hi, I'm currently on unemployment, or PUA, whichever one it is, same analysis. And I want you to look at my 2019 tax return. I'm currently getting paid this amount of money per week. Please see if I qualify for more weekly benefits, Don't use the words escalated or enhanced or additional or maximum, because people talk different words in different parts of the country, and I'm not joking about this. People just have different expressions in different parts of the country, so just use basic English. Can you please see if I qualify for more money per week? And you know, and I know, that if you made about $30,000 2019 or more, you should be getting about a couple $100 more per week. Bottom line, bam, money right in your account right now. Third item, that's EIDL. To apply for EIDL, you go to Sam, B, boy, A, Anthony.gov. That's SBA.gov, and look for the economic injury disaster. It's an instrument that allows you to get a to get money that you would receive in about 4 days in your account, and it's tied to your 2019 earnings. Now, I got 2 really great questions in the last few hours about that, so let me go over it. Needless to say, I've made about 300 videos about EIDL. So now in November, I'm recapping 300 videos from April through the summer into just a few seconds of this video. But to get an EIDL, you have to ensure that your Experian Vantage 3.0 score is 570 or higher. I'm going to say that slower again. Experian Vantage 3.0. What does that mean? It's a credit company that SBA uses. They don't use FICO. They don't use TransUnion. They only use Experian. They only use Vantage, and they only use version 3.0. They don't use 2.0 or 4.0. To get it, you go on the Experian website and look it up. It's free, or you can download the Experian app. It's also free. If you're below 570, let's say 560, then do what's called the Boost, B-O-O-S-T, from Experian. It's free. You can do it over the phone or on their app, and that raises you about 25 points. Once you got that lined up, then the next step is you look at your 2019 tax return. If you're an Uber or Lyft driver, get this. If you're a Grubhub driver or Airbnb operator, get this. Hairstylist, independent contractor, plumber, electrician, get this. If you're impacted by the pandemic and your earnings went down, get this. Now, someone says in a really great question, I started my business in January, but I didn't start it in 2019. Do I qualify? Yes. The way they'll do it is they will look at pro forma, how much you made in January and then February, and then they'll see the fall off in March and April when the pandemic hit. So they will calculate it based upon how good you were going in January, February before the pandemic hit. The only type of person who can't get this is a person who had a business and then stopped it. That doesn't qualify. And when we say business, this could be you driving your Uber Lyft car. It's as simple as that. You don't need a W-9. You don't need a 1099. You don't need any of these things. All you need to ensure is that you declare this income in your 2019 return, and it appears prudentially on your Schedule C as independent contractor. How much money can you get? Absolutely incredible. If you made $8,000 as an Uber and Lyft driver and had zero cost of goods sold, well, guess what? You'll get $4,000. Bam! Right now in your account. Right now, money for you less than 5 days from now. It's based upon gross revenue minus cost of goods sold divided by 2. Very simple. I had one person yesterday. Her husband is a contractor. He has not been able to get much work since the pandemic. He is a Schedule C. He made $55,000 last year. I said, why aren't you getting an EIDL? $55,000 cost of goods sold. Let's say it's $5,000. That's 55 minus 5, 50 divided by 2, $25,000. Bam. How do you, what comes thereafter? First, you don't have to repay anything for over a year. Nothing is due in the first year. No principal and no interest. Thereafter, you have 30-something years to pay the money back. So if you got $3,000 or $4,000, it's like $10 a year you got to pay back starting in 2 years from now. Well, 2022. I mean, go get that money. The difference of a couple thousand now versus zero is just totally different. Next, $2,400, $50,000 grant, all these incredible things. Let me get to right thereafter money. This is not money available right now, but right thereafter, or I should say right after. The next step is money that's right thereafter, which could be further out, and that's hazard pay-ish. Right after, well, there's first the stimulus check, executive orders, act of Congress. Let me get to those details first. There's a push underway for the president to send out a $5,000 stimulus check with CARES Act 1 money that's currently sitting in CARES Act at SBA. There's about $800 billion sitting at SBA, and I broke last night the bombshell. There could be more. Why? Because remember that use or lose money that's currently in the cities and counties? They're about to lose it, a lot of it. And it's going back to the federal government. So suddenly it may not be $800 billion. It may be even more. The president can send out a stimulus check and should send out a stimulus check. If he wants to exert his position as who he is, this is categorically incredible reason to do it right now. All he has to do is put pen to paper and send out an executive order, repurpose that existing money. Next, Congress can do that by act of Congress. Mitch McConnell, the Democrats, they can all do it as a standalone bill. Mitch McConnell would do it because it doesn't cost any money. It doesn't cut into the national debt because it's existing money. Next, the president can do it in LWA 2.0. If you recall what LWA is, it is FPUC in another name. It was that benefit that was announced by the president several months ago as an executive order that goes on top of your UI and PUA. The president does not have to write another executive order. He can just repurpose existing money for that right now. Then he can do an eviction or moratorium order, and he can do a mortgage forbearance order, and he can send UI, and he can send PUA by executive order. He doesn't even need an act of Congress for those type of things. Very, very simple. You know, in a related subject, which I want to go out of order just for a second, Chuck Schumer minutes ago talked about what Joe Biden could do as executive orders. It sort of basically tees up now what President Donald Trump could do as executive orders, because Chuck basically said Joe can do almost literally anything he wants. Well, okay, then with that, send out some stimulus checks, Mr. President Trump, and it's incredible news. Next, the issue of SSI, $2,400 SSI, yes. So how would this work? It would be $200 a month, all the way to December 31st of 2021. It would start as early as today if they could get it going. $200 a month on top of your existing benefits, $2,600 if it was today, or $2,400 if it started thereafter. It would go on top of your existing benefits. It would stop at the end of next year. This is a pandemic relief, emergency relief, just for my SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits. And as one person sent me a very nice DM, is it also qualified for children on SSI? Yes, absolutely. So then there's two other items for those same people. First, Joe Biden wants to increase everyone's benefits up to 20% lifetime. So if your benefits are currently $1,000 a month, he wants to raise them up to $1,200 a month lifetime. Next, he wants to increase them annually based upon a new indexer that's tied to age, not tied to COLA, because COLA is just not working. Incredible, great news. Then there's EIDL grant, $10,000, Lifeline grant, $50,000, CDC grant, which is an amount that's just really not clear, and also hazard pay grant, that's $10,000. All those grants will be detailed on purple right after this. Now let me get to some of the breaking news minutes ago as Joe Biden addressed members of press about his stimulus package. What was very interesting in his discussion was he said that stimulus needs to be passed right now. This is great news. He urged for Congress to pass things right now. That's also great news. And he said that things need to be done bipartisan and that people can no longer sit around and bicker anymore. All really great news. It repeats what he said over the weekend. And then he paused and said, and just pass the HEROES Act. It was like he was ahead and then sort of went back one step. Do bipartisan, come to an agreement. Let's have a kumbaya moment. Let's all agree upon something that is bipartisan, but do exactly what we want. Okay. Well, it was going good for a little bit. I'll give you up-to-date minutes up-to-date details more about Joe Biden's remarks on Being a Mitch, which is about an hour from now. But coming up is Purple with those big grants. As always, go to the channel, subscribe so no one else is getting you money like this channel right now. Also, like this video. Coming up next is Purple. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay about life for more.